Don't worry, the QT is not gonna pop up, and it's gonna be really weird counting down, but it's okay. I'll do the countdown. I know when it should be good. Sometimes if you quit out on that QT, though, it doesn't show up on screen. Alright, yeah, I'm ready whenever. Just let me know when I'm live. Alright, we're live? Alright, cool. Hello, everyone. This is Silent Hill Homecoming. We have a brief little cutscene before the game actually starts, so we're just gonna run through that. And just a warning, if anyone sees this and they're like, hey, I kinda wanna run it, do not buy the PC version on Steam. It is the most broken port you will ever see. And I don't think it's ever actually gone on sale. So if it goes on sale, still don't buy it. It's not worth it. It doesn't work. The floor will deload under you and you will fall to your death so often. I'm just giving everyone a warning now so you don't waste your money. But, so yeah, this is Silent Hill Homecoming. This is just kind of like this opening scene that kind of foreshadows a bunch of the plot that's completely irrelevant. Yeah, kind of not. You see all these kids getting murdered, and they become, like, the demon bosses. And this is all bosses, so it is a little bit more relevant, because we are going to go and kill them a second time. Because that's the only way to fire as many shots as we can in this game. So I did run New Game Plus any percent in, like, the first shots fired, so it's kind of cool to be able to come back with, like, the other categories. But yeah, so we're about to start time. There's a QT that comes up. When we start the QT, that's where the time will be, so I'll just count us in, I believe. Is right after this, and we start off in this dream sequence in a hospital. It's kind of similar to Silent Hill 1 and 3's dream sequences. There's not too many glitches. Yeah, okay, cool. So, because I had quit out in the QT when we were getting everything set up, it does not show the button for the QT, but the QT is primed, so I'll do the countdown before I start mashing. So, 3, 2, 1, go. And as you see, I'm struggling, even though it doesn't show the QTE button. That's like, we've already got a glitch before the game's even started. That's kind of how this game goes. Everything's a little wonky at times. But yeah, this first area isn't too intense. It's mainly just follow along like the scheduled route. There's a bit of enemy manipulation in here, but most of it's just straightforward. So that code there is the same every time. You're supposed to go find it, but because it doesn't change it, it's just like, okay, cool, you can just do it. It's kind of weird because your controls for the number pad there are weighted. So it's very specific how you actually have to do it fast. It makes no sense. It's just like one of those things this game has. Also in this first area, we can't skip most of the cutscenes, which is unfortunate because who wants to watch cutscenes? But this is our first transition to the other world, as it would be, and we get to meet the first enemy, which is a nurse, because you need to throw a nurse in every game. Yeah. I don't really know why they throw nurses in every Silent Hill game at this point, but it's okay, because Silent Hill is dead. There'll never be another game, and I'll never have to wonder about that ever again. A moment of silence, please. So, this is where the first bit of enemy manipulation comes up. It's really only relevant in this first place. Nurses move mainly based on light, so we jump over and immediately turn off our flashlight, so they walk towards where we were once we jump through the window, and they leave us alone so we can cut through this without them bothering us. We then have to make sure to turn our flashlight back on because we're about to have bugs show up, and they seem to be a bit more aggressive if your light's off. I don't know if that's just like, if that actually happens, or if it's more placebo on my part, but I always make sure to turn it back on. So, these are bugs. They're really annoying. They'll show up a few times in the run. It's another one of those enemies that shows up in a lot of the games but doesn't really have any significance. It's like, they kind of dropped the ball on symbolism in this game. Outside of the bosses, they're still pretty cool. I do think that Homecoming has some of the coolest boss designs, and that's one of the reasons for running all bosses. Here we're gonna turn off our flashlight again for these nurses. Also, this next room I'm going into, if you turn your flashlight in, well, in it, yeah, so one of the nurses still tried to hit me, but it didn't hit me out of the QT. If you turn your flashlight on here, sometimes the dust particles can make you lag, so I just leave it off until I get back down. And here I want the flashlight on so nurses move, because if they don't move, sometimes they just... Oh god. Oh goodness. Okay, I actually got the absolute worst thing that can happen. That was incredibly bad RNG. And that's like a 1 in 100 run thing. So they blocked me off from being able to get to a door that's 2 feet away. So I had to try to wiggle through there. But that's why you want them to move, because if they don't, and they block off the path, sometimes you just get stuck, and you can't see where you are to try to sneak past them. So because of that, I'm going to have to pick up a life thing here, because I'm going to get hit by another bug, and you don't want to get hit too low in health that you start limping, because it wastes a ton of time. So there's a little backup here for that. It's still the tutorial after all. So just grab the health drink, use it, heal back up, and we're off. So we have to find his bunny now. If you open the doors and there's the cutscene trigger on the other side, it's fastest to roll into it because it has like a short wait after you open a door, but there isn't if you roll. It's only useful in this beginning section because there's only 2 cases where there's a cutscene on the other side of a door, at least where we travel through. Hopefully my marathon luck will be better. Yesterday in practice I managed to soft lock like 3 times, twice in entirely new ways, so hopefully all of the bad marathon luck is out of the way with that. I would hate to soft lock in an actual marathon run. I haven't yet, so usually there's only a soft lock like 1 every 100 runs, but you never know. So this is the end of the dream sequence. We're finally going to actually get to Silent Hill, and things are going to get really fun in just a few minutes or so. So this is the only time, we don't even see it, but this is the only time we're going to interact with Pyramid Head. Actually, I guess we sort of see it. I don't know why they put Pyramid Head in this game. It makes no sense because Pyramid Head's supposed to be like symbolic of the guy from Silent Hill 2 or whatever. Yes, this is the 360 version. Okay, so the 360 version is the fastest. It has the fastest loads, and if you have it installed to console, there's a cutscene you can't skip without soft locking that you can skip, so it's even faster. PC is the absolute slowest. It's atrocious. There's one person who runs on PC, and I think he's finally going to get a 360 version, which is going to be super cool because you do not want to touch this in PC. But yeah, so basically 360 is probably what the original game was made on, and then I think they ported it to PS3 because it seems to be the most stable overall. You crash the least, you have the least issues with areas deloading and all that. But yeah, so we're done the little tutorial intro, and now we actually get to get into the real game. And so the first thing you'll notice is that guns are OP in this game, and walls kind of suck. So we're gonna bully some walls in a bit as soon as we get our first gun. This is New Game Plus, so we get to use the laser pistol, so we get more options right off the bat than we otherwise would. So, right now we're returning home, because this is Homecoming. It's like the namesake of the game, and it's gonna be over. Like, this speedrun only lasts 10 minutes. Look, we're already home. There's our home. Alright, cool. We've come home. We're done. We're good. So, from what I know, all Homecoming PC versions are bad because they're all the same version. None of them got patched ever. It was just one put out on every PC version. So I'm gonna grab the flashlight here. I don't need to for this, but it is a bit of a safety. We get the laser pistol, and we're gonna bully our first wall. So there's this little hidden nook in the attic, and guns are OP not because you shoot them, even though this is shots fired, but because if you aim at a wall, you can just go right through the wall. So this area we fell into is actually only accessible through the backyard. You can't get into it from in the house. So we land on top of it, and we can get to where the back door out the back is, and skip this huge section and puzzle of draining the basement so we can get out the back door. So I'm sure you can make it work with fan patches, but fan patches are always questionable when it comes to speedrunning at times, because some people like to mess around with those. So, like if you want to play it casually, you can get it to work, but it's a lot of work. And then there's also the risk of the fan patch being corrupt or bad and just not doing good things for your computer. But the official versions, yeah, no, don't touch the official if you have to. So, this is the mayor of the town. He's digging graves, or digging people out of graves, not sure. There, we fired 2 shots. Shots have been fired. You can hit that dog mid-jump, it's pretty hard. So this is one of the harder tricks of the game, actually. We do it twice, but we're gonna boost up this pillar using a gun again. And it's a little finicky at times. Yeah, come on. Oh, okay, that didn't work. You want it so it pushes you up on top of the boundary, but it can also push you out the back of the boundary. So you just kind of strafe back and forth. And come on. Yeah, see, I'm kind of going slowly out the back here, so I'm not going to get enough height to boost on top, which is unfortunate. This trick's really finicky, and this is kind of why the game's so hard to run, is there is a lot of RNG into the clips, because just how they react kind of is different every time. There we go. Look how fast that was. So 3rd time's not bad. I have to be careful here that I don't just fall through the map and die. So I have to like go at a very specific angle, and then you just aim and re-aim, and you slowly move forward each time. And that gets us over this gate that we're actually supposed to like go and do an entire other section of getting a gun, talking to Wheeler and stuff, and then this gate should be unlocked. Hey, look, he's still digging. So yeah, he's also not supposed to be there when we get back here, but that lets us get into here early and get through this puzzle. And so now we're actually in Silent Hill, because this game actually doesn't take place in Silent Hill. It takes place in Shepherd's Glen for the most part, but then you do travel back and forth between Shepherd's Glen and Silent Hill. And this is our first time here, where we fall asleep in the crypt and wake up here somehow. Doesn't really make sense, but so I just killed the enemy because it kind of gets in your way a bit, but also all the smoke it lets off can cause a lot of lag, which is really annoying. We need to get the fire axe here so that we can get into the... I almost said hospital, but it is a hotel, not a hospital. Both H words. There's a few of these guys. They're called smogs. They spit out smoke and it can stun you and just causes a ton of lag and is awful. So we try to kill them if they're going to be in our way too much. So I don't quite understand the game design here because there's just a ton of backtracking. But I mean, okay, that's game design for you, right? So we have to jump across here. We have to get a key so we can go turn the fuses on so we can get the elevator to work. Which means we enter, grab the key, and immediately leave. And then we enter and go all the way back. It's questionable. So there's another smog out here I'm going to kill because it does come up to our exit from where we go, so I'm just going to kill it so it doesn't block me off while I'm doing this puzzle. And white, yellow, and green. Nice and easy every time. Get the power back on, and now we're going to get to do a little bit of a auto-scroller in the elevator. So, luckily, that smog stays out of the way for the most part, so even when it does its spitting attack, you can get past it far enough that you won't be affected by the lag. So now we just have to get in the elevator. I kind of just face this way because don't look at the smog and then it's easier to hit the button fast. So I can't skip these cutscenes here. I don't know why. You can skip almost every other cutscene, but you can't with the elevator ones. So now we get into our little short auto-scroller. There's going to be some enemies that jump down and attack us, and we just have to shoot them off. So one will spawn on one side, and then one spawns on the opposite side. It's RNG which side they spawn on first, but then it'll always be the opposite side. And then once it raises, there'll be one in the center, and then the same thing as before, where one spawns on one side at random, and then the other one spawns on the opposite. So since here I don't know which side it's gonna spawn on, I just kind of look back and forth, listen to audio cues. I wouldn't expect them to hide loading screens behind cutscenes because they have, there's a part coming up where it is a cutscene, a loading screen, two cutscenes, a loading screen, and then another cutscene. So they definitely don't hide loading screens behind cutscenes. So there's a pretty hard clip coming up here. This one can be really finicky, so you have to be careful. You don't want to get stuck in this wall. The number one thing I say about clips in this game is you just kind of have to believe that it's gonna work and just do it. Otherwise, it's not going to. Because if you second guess it, it's like it's awful.
Josh?
So yeah, you're supposed to do this super long fetch quest puzzle for some random person inside a house to get into the keys to get into this room because Josh is in this room, but we can just kind of clip in, hopefully, if I can figure out where I am. This is not a good pull. I think I'm too far to the right. As I said, yeah, if you try to pay attention to it too much, it can get a little iffy. I'm still moving though, so I'm good. As long as I'm still moving towards the inside of the wall. If I stop, then we have a problem. Generally, though, you don't want it to take this long. Okay, cool. So we need to get to this barrier where it's like another wall. And then once we're here, we can let go of aim and re-aim a few times and try to get around this pillar and then get inside the room and jump across to get this cutscene. So that trick is really weird because there's like 4 or 5 walls all around and you have to get right in the correct small little space to slide through. And then here you open the door, it doesn't work, you leave, you come back. and then you open the door again. So we're coming up on the first boss. This is Sepulcher. It's a pretty easy boss. But first we talk to the mayor, who is digging graves.
I need to talk to you.
Yeah? Well, make an appointment in my office.
What the hell's happened to Sheriff?
And he's real drunk, that's for sure.
These people are your responsibility.
Now you listen to me, you little asshole.
I love that line.
I could to protect those people. But you can't stop
Now you listen to me.
What the hell else do you want from me?
The voice actor for this guy is actually really good.
My boy?
Like,
I didn't do much right with him.
he honestly does sound like an annoyed, drunken mayor. But yeah, so basically, there's a cult that worships gods, that protects them from the gods of Silent Hill because they didn't want to be part of Silent Hill anymore. And they have to sacrifice their kid. So this guy killed his kid, which becomes Sepulcher. You were supposed to be a sacrifice, but because you weren't sacrificed, the town's now falling apart and Silent Hill's taking over, so... So, yeah, the town's falling apart because we didn't die like we were supposed to, and our brother was killed instead. You gotta sacrifice the firstborn, not the secondborn. So, we have our little conversation with him, and then Sepulcher shows up, we have our little fight. New Game Plus is kind of broken, so... Okay, cool. I lagged on the roll, but luckily it didn't want to pull me. And that's Sepulcher. Pretty simple. Sometimes when you do second phase and you shoot it once in the face and it falls down, it doesn't die. Yeah, here we have to wait a bit. But if it doesn't die, it kind of sucks because, as you saw, I tried to shoot an extra time just to be careful, and the bullets just went through its body. Like, if you don't hit the head, it's unfortunate. But, yeah, that fight's really easy. It's really fun if you don't use the laser pistol, because you're supposed to, like, run around and hide and shoot its, like, hanging orb things or whatever, but it's like... that takes too long. So, yeah, here we just have to wait. There's not much else we can do. I don't know why they programmed this in. Like, I guess they want you to think you can escape, but you can't, so... Playing this casual, it's just like, what am I supposed to do here? And then it's suddenly like, oh, there's a cutscene that it made me wait like 20 seconds to get to, 20, 30, for no reason. There's a lot of points like that where I really question the game design.
I'm just trying to find my brother, okay? I thought the mayor might know something. His son is missing too.
A lot of people are missing, but that doesn't give you the right to kill a man.
I didn't kill anybody.
Then what happened
So,
to Mayor
yeah.
Brooklyn?
It was some kind of creature.
Just our little conversation here. And then,
It came to life out of a goddamn tree.
like,
That's what killed him. And that's the truth. I swear.
So you've seen the creatures.
it's kind of weird that it's like,
I'm not sure it's safe here anymore.
yeah, he locks us up in a cell in the police station, even though it's completely falling apart and, like, destroyed, and he's like, I don't think it's safe here anymore. Let's go.
Follow me.
Just because you bring up monsters, all of a sudden he's like, oh yeah, we gotta be careful. Monsters, yeah. And they just happen to all show up in here. It's weird. And there's, like, blood stains everywhere. It's like, I don't know how you run this prison, but, or police station, but I don't think there should be that much blood on the floor everywhere for you to not notice.
Looks
Like,
clear. Stay close.
why does he lock us up in a cell in this place? I have so many questions for this guy. But, you know, he's our best friend. We need to keep him alive so we can get the best ending.
Hold up. I gotta think. Listen.
So yeah, he's like, we've got to get out of here. Then he just goes, hold up. I'm gonna think.
Doc Fitch?
Yeah.
So yeah, he explains we have to go find the doctor now. Who's another one of, like, the 4 people who had to sacrifice their kids.
No time for that now, Alex. Just trust me. We need to get to the doctor before something happens to him too. Stand back.
And here you just kind of try to wiggle past him.
The exit is this way.
I didn't quite get it though. I got stuck on him, but that's okay. So now we get attacked. Bunch of I think they're called schisms. I actually don't know their names. Show up, and we get all of our weapons back here. As you see when you skip the cutscene, a chair flies, and oh god, no, 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 no! I think we just soft locked. So chairs, okay, no, it's still moving. Chairs can lose their property to be moved around, and if they do, and it's in a doorway, it will soft lock the game. I've seen it happen once in that cutscene, where the chair flew into the doorway and lost its movement properties as an item and became, like, immovable, and it just soft locked the game. So, luckily that didn't happen. It could have, though. I don't know why the chair goes flying when you skip the cutscene, but it does, and it can end the game, so it's never something you want to have happen. That was bad aim. Alright. I got scared there for a second. There's another area we'll enter where it's just like a bunch of chairs everywhere, and it's always so scary. Chairs are our greatest enemy. Sitting is for nerds. Oh my god. So, this gun doesn't actually fire in a straight line at where it targets. It fires from, like, the left, kind of at a left angle. So if an enemy is directly in front of you, and your targeting cursor is on them, you will not shoot them. It'll, like, move past them because it comes at an angle. Which is really weird, but that's a thing. So we're done with this area now, basically. That guy takes 3 shots, and yeah, we're out of here. Now we're in the sewers. This is kind of a lot of... Well, this is an escort mission with a bunch of backtracking. We've tried to find a way around this, but it's not a good time. So, we have to do a lot of this little open the gate, wait for them to open the gate. It's pretty slow. There's another section like this later in the game that we're supposed to do this, but we skip it because we can, so we don't have to worry about that. I just have to remember to dupe the laser pistol. I didn't in my practice run, so I had to do segmented strats, which is awful, so... So I found a new way to soft lock, well, not soft lock the game, but for the game to game over here. And I don't know how I did it yesterday. I think she might have died, but I don't know how she dies because she never dies. I hear a lot of slashing though, so maybe... So... We've got to lower the water in a place farther ahead, so I have to turn this crank. I'm really scared. Yesterday, I turned this crank, and then I just got a random game over, so hopefully that doesn't happen. Homecoming... Wait, which is more Silent Hill? Homecoming. Downpour is like an action-adventure cutscene game. It's more like watching a movie. Breakable weapons you have to find and pick up is such a bad mechanic. That also forces you to lose a lot of random points, especially when you need those weapons to progress, and then if it breaks you're stuck. It's like... Downpour's a terrible game. At least Downpour uses in-game time, unlike Homecoming. But, yeah, so... This is the last gate we have to open, and then we have to run all the way back the way we came. But yeah, most most Silent Hill games are, after the first 4, are a little questionable. I actually think my least favorite is Origins, even though its gameplay and like stylization is closest to the originals. But that's because they made it too close to the originals. They're like, we're gonna retell the origin story and retcon the entire series as the first game we do once we take it. It's like, it's such a pretentious thing to do, and they did it so poorly that I can't like it. So yeah, we have to go all the way back back the way we came. And all of these guys are showing up now. We've got a bunch of friends. They're like, hey, how's it going? We have more of these guys in the water. Are they hitting each other? What? I do not know what's going on. There's like two in a corner that are just like attacking walls or something. I have not seen that before, and probably won't again, but that was interesting. So, we're back around. L's gonna let us through. And then we get to continue on, ignoring L. So, more enemies are gonna come. And we're just gonna run past all of them until we get to another auto-scroller portion. So we can just go straight through the enemy when it climbs down. It just loses, I totally forgot the word for collision, but it's collision, so cool. There's a bunch of those guys in this water here, but they're apparently not in a direct angle, so you can just run right through with no worries. This run's gone surprisingly well so far, honestly, for Marathon. A few hiccups here and there, but not bad. So yeah, we're coming up on another auto-scroller section where we have to kill 4 enemies, I believe. There's supposed to be this huge, like, cool battle here, but laser pistol kind of makes it easy. So we let her through. Sometimes you have to wait a long time when you open that. Like, if she gets hit, she falls behind. So luckily she didn't. We aren't going to lose time off it. I'm just going to move far enough up that you can actually see how these enemies show up, because it's kind of... they just like slide on out. These enemies suck because they can block your attacks. Even like laser pistol attacks they can block. So you want to try to hit them from the side as they first come out before they're facing you, otherwise they block and you just have to spam until they die, and then it's all RNG. Where is this one? Wait, how did that one get over there? There's weird movement. Okay, so all those are dead. An enemy spawns at the back here. I'm gonna try to kill it before I'm technically in range to see it with my gun, but... okay, we hit it. You can, if the reticle isn't red, it's hard to tell if it's actually there or not, but you can hear if you're hitting it or not. So, I managed to snipe it before it, in theory, came into range. So that's good. I usually play this game without audio, so I can't actually use that audio cue, so it's nice when I do. So, now we have to go to the hospital and find Fitch. And then we get to face our second boss, and then we'll be up to where where any percent is. So there's 2 dogs here. I always try to kill the one that spawns in front of me. I won't always kill the one behind me, because we hit a cutscene, but they can still move in the cutscene. So they can, like, rearrange themselves so you can't dodge their attack once you skip the cutscene. Like, as you saw, it moved to the side of me. If it moves in front of you, it can be bad. But we got past it. So, yesterday I soft-locked in this loading screen. Doesn't look like that happened today, so that's good. But I also didn't get to practice this last night because of that. So, hopefully everything's good. So yeah, we look at that. It's like, we need a key. We turn back out, and suddenly there's a bunch of nurses here. I mean, we are in the doctor's office, so it makes sense. Sometimes their bodies have hitboxes, sometimes they don't. I got unlucky and they don't, so I can't just walk over them once I kill them. So we get the key. Oh, goodness me. And now we get to open this box. And we're gonna do one of the coolest tricks in the game after this. We're now in Hell's Descent, and this place is really, really cool. It's technically like a tower, so the entire level is straight from the top down. So that lets us do some really cool stuff with the clips. Yep, did not mean to pause there. So we get the doll, and then we go over here, and on this last wooden one, we want to clip through here. I'm getting pulled into the corner. There we go. So we clip through here, and then we fall all the way down to the very bottom of this level. And once we get to the bottom, I have to navigate without being able to see anything. Oh. Did I get stuck? Uh-oh. I can hear myself moving. Where is this ladder? I have a bad feeling. I can kind of check out where the walls are doing this. I think I landed in this. There's like a tiny room I think I might have landed in. No. I shouldn't have, though. As long as I'm there, I should be fine. Uh-oh. I'm just gonna try to out of bounds and kill myself here. If I can't actually see what I'm doing. I might have to use my safety save, but that's unfortunate. I don't get to do this. So I apparently missed the area I need to fall into, and I don't know how, because I was in the right place where you do the clip. I think I might have fallen into a wall or something. Let me just try to scout. There should have been a ladder here, but as there isn't. Yeah, I think I... Wait a... Okay, it like removed my targeting reticle for a second. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna have to go to the safety save. That's why I made it. This is the one of the harder tricks in the game. If you miss, it's just kind of over. I wish you could restart from checkpoint. Like, I wish that was a thing in this game. Let me just try it out of bounds one more time. No. Wait, am I even... I need to find a place where I can actually walk. Okay, I can strafe here. Yeah, this thing... Okay, that's unfortunate. So I'm gonna have to use a safety save made for marathon purposes. Sometimes that happens with Hell's Descent. You just fall and like you'll like go through the area you're supposed to land on, and I'm not really sure why. I was in the right spot, so I would have, where I should have landed is up top here, up at the top above this ladder, and then come and climb down the ladder, but I was stuck in one of the walls just slightly to like the side, or like in the gears on this second platform or something, but you can't see anything. Otherwise I'd have to do this all blind, like I was supposed to, but unfortunately the game didn't like me, so that happens sometimes. This run is now invalid though. So I can finish the run, show it off for marathon strats, but I can't count this as a real run. But that's okay. That's why I knew that could happen, and that's why I prepared that save. So this is the second boss. And that's marathon luck there. You just have to talk to Dr. Fitch for a bit. He's all like angry, and those cuts look so fake. I'm just sad I couldn't show that off, because that's actually a really cool trick when it works, but
I come here to remind myself.
this game has a lot of issues with its tricks being not safe and not really, they don't happen consistently sometimes, so you have to, if you're gonna do marathon, you have to make some safety adjustments.
He loves dollies.
So this is Scarlet. This
Wanna
is
ask you about Scarlet.
probably one of the
What's
coolest bosses. It's one of the
He
funnest.
mentioned our name. You're not as worthy as we
It's
were
obviously
today.
this guy's kid. You give him the doll, he freaks out, the doll comes to life, and then we get to fight Scarlet. It's actually good if she falls down. You have to like break off all of her limbs. She can do this thing where she scarecrows and gets stuck and just doesn't move. So yeah, you want her to not do that, because then you have to like run up to her and do a bunch of stuff to get out. So that's first phase. Second phase is cool. She's like a spider. Okay, cool. You want to hit her before she climbs up on the walls to skip phases, and then she like kind of jumps around after, so you want to hit her fast enough that you can reset the phase. She has 3 phases, and so perfect is not letting her get away. So that was a perfect Scarlet fight. I'm kind of sad that the run's invalid now, because that was an absolute... You hardly ever get a fight that good. So that's the second boss. So now we are kind of caught up to where New Game Plus would be. So New Game Plus skips all of that stuff we just did. So New Game does too, actually, but the any percents would skip it. So now we're kind of just catching up to where that would be, and the rest of this run kind of follows similar to an any percent run. However, we do get to dupe our laser pistol, which you can't in any percent since you only visit the house the first time. So we use the key we found at the end of that to get in here. There's some enemy being annoying somewhere off over there. I'm just gonna ignore it. There's some nurses here that we're gonna take out because they can kind of surround you during this unskippable cutscene, because for whatever reason in this unskippable cutscene the enemies can still move even though you can't, so they can just surround you and then start wailing on you once you get out of it. So this is where we get the ceremonial knife. You need it to get through a lot of sections in the game, although because you can clip through them, most of them you don't actually need the knife for, and we skip getting it altogether in New Game Plus any percent. You can't skip in New Game any percent because the same strategy that gives us the knife is how we get through half of the game. So yeah, we get this nice long and skippable cutscene. It's like, oh, this is our dad's knife. And you start to realize, like, oh, my dad was one of the members of this cult that's like sacrificing people, and all that fun stuff. You know, regular, good old homegrown American family. I think this game's set in America, right? Yeah, no, it is. But yeah, so now we have this underground maze. It's not super hard. Just need to go the right way. I mean, that's a maze after all. But once we get through here, we show back up in the mausoleum area of the... My words are failing me. We show back up in the graveyard. That's the word. And then... yeah, for whatever reason you have to go to the graveyard like 3 times. I don't... game design again, but so this is like one of the few times we'll use the knife for its actual purpose. I think we actually use it as a like the ceremonial knife twice. We have to open this door. I mean, we can clip out, but it takes super long. There's actually a glitch here too when you come up from down there that your weapons can despawn. It's really weird. You have to like quick swap to the knife and spam to open the door to get it to open, because you just won't have weapons and you can't use them. But like when you swap weapons, they'll appear for a fraction of a second, so You can still get the door open, but it's really weird. The other way is to just go back down the loading zone and back up, and they respawn. So, we skipped this portion of the graveyard, so you didn't get to see it before, but we'll be back to where we started real soon. So, yeah, we're back to where we first clipped over into the crypt because we wanted to, go fight Sepulcher. It's right over there. The gate's open now. You can't really see it because of the fog, but there's a new dog too. I killed the first dog because if you don't, there's 2 dogs here. And that one's still alive, so you end up with 3 dogs. That dog almost hit me too, but the more dogs, the worse it is. So you do not want to like get surrounded by dogs in that area. They can just knock you down over and over again while you try to climb up. Just run past that smog. I almost got hit by it, but not quite. I'm gonna do the cool house strats because this runs I dead, kind of, technically. So I'll do all the cool blind out of bounds stuff to make up for the fact that I couldn't do the Hell's Descent one because we soft locked. Kind of, yeah, no, we did soft lock. I got stuck in a little room I couldn't get out of. I got stuck in a wall thing. So yeah. Soft locks every day. So this is the other time we use this. This is actually what we see in our memory when we pick up the knife is, oh, I remember that room my dad had in the basement. And all this, there's a shotgun in here that we don't need, and we get a key to the attic. We can actually clip into the attic, but because we have to come through the basement anyways, it's faster to get the key since the attic clip is really inconsistent and kind of slow. Because of the attic clip though, in any % New Game Plus, we would just, like, where I first picked up my gun, which I'm actually going to pick up again to dupe it, because that's a thing. So we would just go and clip into this room now and skip all of what I just did up to that part. So gun duping is weird. For whatever reason, you can pick up the laser pistol twice in this game, and I assume it does something similar to like, oh, item value, you pick up the gun once, it's like item value 1, you pick it up twice, it goes to item value 2. There's a part at the end of the game where we lose our weapons again, but because our item value is 2, the way you lose the weapon, it's just like item value all -1 or something, so you just keep the laser pistol because it's still at 1. It's something along those lines, but just do this slide. And now we start to get into the really broken sections of the game where there's a lot of clips. Even though we went through a loading zone to get into the attic, the rest of the game's still loaded. You don't actually, there's no need for that that loading zone that's there. So now we're in the Otherworld house. I'm gonna do the cool strats here. They're a lot riskier and can end up a lot slower. And at best they go kind of even, I think, but normally you wouldn't just like go through a phase here. You'd go and get some other stuff first and do the masks, but we're gonna do the masks later. So we're gonna do phase 2 of Otherworld house first, and then 3, and then we'll do 1, and then 4, and then we'll be done with this area. So phase 2, I have to collect a bunch of medals. They're not hard to find. They're kind of just there. There's that one. There's that one, which is a Pyramid Head one, of course, right? And then we have one last one, which is right beside where the puzzle to use them all is. There's 2 different ways to clip out of this attic, like we did in the last attic. Depending on the strat you use, you want to use a different one. Also, I need to try to remember, my menu is different than usual, so my items will be in different places, so menuing is kind of weird. So yeah, normally I would clip into a different place, but because I'm doing this strat, I'm clipping right there so I can get the cleaver, because I would have, otherwise I retrieved the cleaver, the bunny, and the mask here, but because I didn't do the clip, that drops me right beside them. The second half of my run's been going so well, but I'm so sad. It could have been so good. So we get all those. Run on back down. We're gonna do phase 3 now. This is what we need the bunny for. And then I'll get to do blind mask strat to do phase 1. So we need the knife here. So we have to cut through there to get one of the knives for phase 4. The menu. So we place the rabbit in a window, and for whatever reason that unlocks something. And then we cut through here to get one of the knives, and there's a drawing. We need this knife, and then we're gonna go do phase 1 now, even though we skipped it. So I'm just gonna clip through here and fall down into the kitchen, which isn't technically loaded. And so I find this door that's locked. I try to open it to set myself where I am, and then from there, because I know what direction I'm facing, I just have to follow through the proper movements to do the masks. Normally you're not supposed to do this because it's slightly slower, but it looks really cool. Because I'm just doing a bunch of stuff. Well, I can't see. And this also causes this enemy, when it spawns, it has to enter the next room. I'm gonna get hit by a bug. I'm just gonna wait for it. There we go. So now I have to clip back into bounds, which it does not want to let me do right now. So yeah, that enemy, once it spawns, has a trigger that forces it to walk into the kitchen. So because we've spawned it with the door closed, it's just gonna walk into that wall for like ever. So this is the first case of using the shotgun to then push us over a wall. It kind of has, the shotgun has different properties to the laser pistol, where the laser pistol will pull you into a wall and forward. The shotgun you can use to kind of push yourself out of walls. So he's just gonna keep running into that wall there. And now we're off to do the last phase of this house. You can kind of push the enemy around and stuff, and it's kind of funny. If you shoot the enemy too before it makes it to the point it's designated to walk into the kitchen for, because it's only like one step to that wall, but if you shoot it fast enough to knock it down and then close the door on it, it'll also do the same thing. So you can do it without having to do the out of bounds. Yeah. So we do another clip down to the basement. It saves some time of running all the way down, and then also saves some time because it stops an enemy from spawning in our path, and instead it'll spawn behind us as we leave, so we don't have to worry about it getting in our way. So now we're done with the Otherworld house, we just have to get back to the main door and leave. As I mentioned, we skip an enemy spawn. You'll hear it spawning as I walk by here, because I'm going to walk over its spawn on the way out. And yeah, it just spawned behind me, but we're already gone, so we don't care. And our buddy's still going to be walking there. And so here's an unskippable cutscene, a loading zone, 2 cutscenes, a loading zone, and a cutscene. Which is amazing. So we get to sit back for a short while here and just enjoy. So we're going back to our regular house. We open the door, it's like, can we finally leave? And then it just goes straight to a loading zone. It like makes it so dramatic. And then it's a loading zone, and then it's 2 cutscenes. And then it's a loading zone again. Well, not loading zone, but loading screen. It's a fun time. And then it's another cutscene, and then we're finally back in game. And we get to run around here. Interacting with things in this game is kind of weird, like jumping across. If you approach things at the wrong angle, it like makes you wait half a second before you can go through. So you want to like approach everything at the right angle to avoid it. And so we're back in Silent Hill at this point, and we're moving on to Penitentiary. And we're starting to get to some of the more harder clips in the game. Of course, there's a few before. There's like one hard clip before each boss, but this is all the same as New Game Plus now, except of course at the end when I'll have a second laser pistol. But there's a few tricks coming up here that
Wheeler, are you there?
are kind of cool. There's a lot more clipping. There's two different ways to do this clip coming up here. You can do 3 different ones together, or you can do one that uses the shotgun. The one with the shotgun's obviously faster. It's a little bit harder for some people though, and it can be a bit more finicky, but it's like way faster, so you guys want to do it. So we're supposed to go around and do this whole mission thing and all of this stuff, but instead we're just going to clip through this wall here. If I can get a pull. Yeah. So we just, if it will let me in. Come on. What's that? Oh, there's like green lines under me. Okay, that's cool. There's a green line under where I am every time I'm trying to clip. Okay, cool, we got into a wall. That was a bit harder than it should be, but yeah, I just used the shotgun and you're through. I've never seen that weird tearing under me where you can start to see green lines before. That's new. And there's a bunch of chairs here, so hopefully the chairs don't do anything bad. But we avoid them. So there's a... You're supposed to open this door here, but I'm going to do a different strat instead, hopefully. That's cooler. If you get first try, and I didn't, so I'm actually just like wasting time in this run now. Because it doesn't want to give me a pull. This was a mistake. I'm just going to try for 10 more seconds, and then I will go do it the regular way. There we go. So we just kind of slide through. That was slower than it would have been to just open the gate, and it opened behind me for some reason. If you use the lever to open the gate, skip the cutscene, and then wait long enough for the gate to close, and then do it again, it will soft lock. So yeah, that's a soft lock there. I found another new soft lock in this area where you can open a gate before you're supposed to get there if you clip through a wall, and then enemies don't spawn and you soft lock because you need to kill them before you can pull another trigger. So here's some order soldiers. See, as you saw, my reticle was clearly on its head, but the bullet just went past it because it goes at an angle. It's kind of dumb. Order soldiers take 2 shots to kill or 1 headshot. Because even though they aren't zombies, this game still has like headshot mechanics. So yeah, those 2 wouldn't spawn if I did something else, and then I couldn't pull this lever because it'd say it's too dangerous. So we save him, kill this enemy, and then I need to roll at the right time. Okay, cool, I think I got it. I'm really not used to that timing, but if you roll at the right time, you roll in the cutscene, and you can get ahead of him here. No! No! I almost had it! No! No! Oh, he moved! He moved! Okay, cool. But that wasted the time I would have saved. So, if you manage to roll then get ahead of him, you can jump across before he does, otherwise you have to wait for him to jump across. Luckily he moved while I was running into him there. But yeah, otherwise you have to wait a bunch. That's the lever that if you clip into an open first, you can soft lock the game by causing those 2 order soldiers to not spawn. So now that we've saved him, he's going to start opening doors for us.
Yes, it works. Okay, we need to split up. Now here's what you do.
Anime was a mistake. It's funny you say that because now I can, I now have permission to shill out me and Lastly's anime podcast on here, which you should all watch. No, I'm joking. But so yeah, we avoid that soft lock. This trick's one of the harder ones, but it's kind of cool. There's a wall on the other side here, and we're trying to clip in on a specific side of the wall. So as you can see, there's like a room to the side, and we're trying to clip in right between here. And it's not giving me the best time right now. There's an invisible wall as well, and you have to get through. Okay, cool, we got in. We boost up onto the desk, and then we kind of have to slide off the desk. And we're through. And then we have to do this clip, which this clip is deceiving. It looks a lot easier than the other one, but sometimes it just doesn't work, which is always a fun time. So that was pretty good. Lastly did give me this permission.
Alright, Wheeler, I made it in.
Lastly was supposed to come on and co-commentate and just talk about our podcast the entire time, but his sister came by or something. I don't know. But this was supposed to just be an advertisement for our anime podcast the entire time. So we get a puzzle here. You can actually clip into the center of this thing and you just sit inside this weird meat sack blob, and it's kind of weird. It's not useful or anything, but it's just kind of funny that you can do that. So we're coming up on probably the worst boss in the game, Asphyxia. No one likes Asphyxia. She's awful, and she controls you really hard. She has some weird effects where she has, for turning, she has like a particle and effect, like a visual, but for whatever reason, when she goes to attack you, she can just pivot on like her center base without using that animation. So like you can be directly behind her and she'll just like suddenly be turned around facing you within like maybe 1 or 2 frames. And it's really broken, so it's really hard to dodge stuff sometimes if she decides to troll you, so you want to, this is a run killer boss coming up. So these guys have to die before we can get through the room. Usually you let, Wheeler, Curtis, or whoever his name kill them, but I always get Wheeler and Curtis confused. I don't actually know which one's which anymore. But yeah, usually you let him kill them in New Game, but because we have a laser pistol, we can just shoot at them too. So this is Asphyxia. Everyone likes to make the joke that it's like Human Centipede, but this came out a year before Human Centipede, so Human Centipede copied this. And that was amazing. She actually backed up. Wait, what? She didn't die in one phase? What? What? What is this? How did she not die in one phase? Okay, that was a thing, but she still died. That was almost like the best fight you could possibly get until she refused to die. But that's fine. That was a good fight. We didn't get trolled. So we're on to the church. This is the second last area of the game, and we get a sequence of 3 clips here. They're pretty cool. One of them is really hard. My strategy is super awkward, so hopefully it works. I always say the trick to making the clips work in this game is to just believe they're going to work. If you believe that you're going to go through the wall, you'll go through the wall. Because if you don't, or you're worried and you start doing anything even slightly different, and you like get your nerves in there, you're going to start messing up. Because the windows actually aren't as small as they seem, but if you try to act as if they're really small because you're worried, then you're gonna like start messing up and going out of them. So current this has never happened before is 0. All of the this has never happened before happened last night in practice, where I found a new way to game over and a new way to soft lock. So this clip's actually going really well. Usually that does not happen first aim. So we just clip through that wall, skip having to get a bunch of stuff and a few cutscenes. Then we get to skip another 2. Go through another 2 walls. And then we'll be done with this area. It's actually really short now. It used to be quite lengthy. You'd have to go and talk to your dad and like forgive him or not, but now we're just like, why do we want to see our dad? We clip into this wall. We just do this shotgun thing again. Twice, and we're through. And now, so this is the really tricky one of these. I'm taking a first aid kit to be careful. So, oh my god, I got first try. Why am I getting all the clips like first try right away when the run's invalid? Because I had to use a safety save. Because we soft locked. Damn it. I'm so sad. This would have been world record pace, I think, if not for this soft lock. Oh well, it's okay. So yeah, that's church. We kind of just run right through it. Skip dad. We're supposed to watch him like get ripped apart by ropes or something, or you can put him out of his misery and shoot him first. I forgot to mention we did the same thing with our mom in Penitentiary. We get to decide if she dies horribly or not as bad, so this game's kind of dark at times. I mean, it's meant to be. So that's the end of church. We're now in the lair, which is like where all the Order soldiers have their cult thing. And we get this nice QTE. If you don't have this game installed to a hard drive, you can't skip that cutscene or it soft locks. You can skip it after a certain point, but you can't skip it while you're getting dragged down the hall. I don't know why, but you just get stuck here and the QTE doesn't work and you're stuck being drilled into forever, and it's really brutal. So just skip through that. You do have to grab the knife before it lets you leave, but the knife doesn't matter because I duped my laser pistol earlier by picking up twice. I still have it, even though you're not supposed to in this section. Literally all you do is pick it up twice and you get it here. So the segmented strats would be ignoring these guys and just like trying to do the clip while they all try to beat your face in. But because I have the laser pistol, it's a lot more consistent to just kill them all. And these guys just run around straight into your bullets. Yeah, there's one last guy, and then we're going to do another pillar boost like the one I did at the very beginning. Hopefully. I don't think this is gonna work. Doesn't seem like it's gonna work. Everything is dark, I can't see. No, it didn't work. Cool. I didn't think it was going to. When I lost the ability to see, there we go. Just pop up on top of the pillar. Go on through. Second try is really good. Again, world record pace, but... So I don't even need to pick these up. I mean, I kind of do because safety. You can do this clip with a pistol only, but it's really finicky and doesn't always work. And you don't want to risk it. It's safer to just grab and get the shotgun, because it's also faster with the shotgun, I think. So we clip into this wall, switch to shotgun, and do our good old slide on out. Alright, cool. And we clip into this wall. I'm gonna do one of the segmented only strats that no one else does but me, just because it's cool. And I can, hopefully. Come on, let me in. Let me in. This wall is being mean. I'm being bullied by the wall. Okay, cool, we got in. Now we get to decide if Wheeler dies or not. We can't actually see anything though, because this place isn't loaded. In New Game, you actually have to go and like grab a weapon and some ammo while not being able to see anything. We're coming up on time soon. We're about to get to the last boss. So I'm supposed to do this puzzle here that takes like 2 minutes, and it's just press a button and super tedious. And this is like a segmented only considered clip, but I'm gonna try to do it because I may as well. Because why not? No, it didn't. That's not gonna work. Come on. Damn it, why is it? Ah. Okay, let's not do that. Okay, if I clipped into that corner there, I'd fall to my death. But I'm pretty far ahead of schedule, I think, so I think I can try this a few more times before giving up. I always get this first try in practice, and then I can never get it in actual runs. There's a reason it's segmented only, considered. How far am I ahead of my estimate? I don't think this one's gonna work, but I'm gonna try it. May as well. Oh, there we go. I got it. Ha! Segmented only. Pfft. That's probably about 10 seconds faster than if I did the puzzle. Even though it should be like a minute faster. Whatever, we did it. Okay, so we're on the last boss here. Time's coming up soon. I'll let you know when it happens. No one else does that clip. They should, though. So this is the last boss. It's pretty easy. We just shoot a few times. This is actually our mom. She's become a big spider robot lady. Yeah, I lost a lot of time when I soft locked. So the time is like, okay, 3, 2, 1, and time. There we go, we did it. Yeah, the soft lock kind of killed time. Only being up 6 minutes. Ooh, that's an hour and 9 minutes. That's a bad run. That's a bad run, but what can you do when you soft lock? So, hopefully, I'm hoping I got the right ending. But yeah, so we kill our mom so that we can get our brother, who's, like, dead, so it doesn't even matter. And we're trapped in this weird, like, dimension thing, and everything's awful. But you take his ring. That's all we really wanted in the end, is we killed our brother originally, because that's the thing. You drowned your brother because you wanted the family ring, but we're like, I gotta give the ring back. I gotta give the ring back. So you murder your mom, your dad, and then kill your brother again and give him back the ring. And then you give him a flashlight too, because I mean, like, you don't need it anymore. Why do you need a flashlight? Especially one awkward like that. There are flashlight apps on your phone. You don't need flashlights anymore. So yeah, now he's all sad because it's like, oh, my brother's dead, even though I killed him. Oh no. It's too brutal. And we're stuck in this weird dimension with a fan, but somehow we just leave. We just walk out. There's not really a door shown anywhere. There's like this weird window thing, and we're just like, nah, I'm out. Don't even take our brother so we can have a burial. Just leaves him laying there in like demon realm, where he might come back as a demon monster like all the other kids. So fingers crossed we got the best ending. Oh, we did. Oh, for whatever reason it shows you like loaded into nowhere. So I'm just gonna let you enjoy this ending. I'm gonna be quiet for a bit. Plot twist, it was all aliens all along.
So that's where they've been taking everybody. I knew it!
Poor Wheeler or Curtis or whatever his name is, being the only one left in the entire town, the only one left alive, and he's like bleeding out, and it's like, what does he do now? Go tell everyone that the whole town is murdered and destroyed by aliens? That's about it. So that was Silent Hill Homecoming. I hope you enjoyed. I had a lot of fun. It was a fun run. I don't need to ask my time, the run was invalid anyways. I know it's like 109 or like 110 or something, but yeah, so I hope you enjoyed. I think up next is The Last of Us, which is a really cool run. You should check that out. And yeah, I don't know when I'm going to be off, so